So, the Indiana Fever just signed somebody. I'm kind of surprised the Indiana Fever signed somebody, like, today. So they signed someone to a 7-day contract, which means they waived somebody? Did the Fever not have to waive somebody to do that? Which means somebody's probably getting waived.
The Indiana Fever just made a surprising move by signing a new player to a 7-day contract. Let's dive into what this means for the team, especially with all the chatter around Caitlyn Clark and the point guard situation. The Fever announced they've signed guard Kyra Lambert to a 7-day contract.
Their point guard. And my brain goes two different ways on this. Either one, the Fever weren't so happy with Odyssey Sims' performance in her first game with the Indiana Fever, and I think a lot of fans were underwhelmed. However, Odyssey Sims had a high bar to clear because Arie McDonald, when she came to the Indiana Fever, she immediately made an impact and played great right away. Odyssey Sims did not have a great game in that last game whatsoever, and so are they signing her to challenge Odyssey Sims and see who plays better, or are they signing her because they know that Caitlyn Clark is not going to be returning this season and they're going to need another point guard for this last stretch of games and going into playoffs? We'll just
taking advantage of a roster hardship exemption due to injuries to Sydney Colson and Arie McDonald. Lambert, who's spent her professional career in Europe, most recently played for Olympos in the Greek A1 League, where she averaged 15.4 points per game and shot 42.1% from three.
Let's get into this. The Indiana Fever welcome Kyra Lambert to the team. Another point guard with Sydney out, with Arie out, with Caitlyn Clark's return. Who the heck knows at this point? We need some point guards on this team. Odyssey Sims, she played this past Tuesday. Looked like she haven't picked up a basketball in months. Now we go out and get Kyra Lambert.
This signing comes just days after the Fever brought in Odyssey Sims on a similar hardship deal, raising questions about the team's plans at point guard. So, what's going on here? The Fever didn't need to waive anyone to make room for Lambert, because the hardship exemption allows teams to add players when they're shorthanded due to injuries. But the timing and nature of these moves have sparked speculation. Are the Fever preparing for a scenario where Caitlyn Clark, their star player, might be out longer than expected?
In the WNBA before, yet the Fever did have room to add another player on a hardship deal. So Lambert, it was announced by the team, has been brought in. This is what the press release itself says, so I'll let them set the context for you. The Indiana Fever have signed guard Kyra Lambert to a 7-day contract, the team announced today. The Fever qualify for the roster spot due to the injuries to Sydney Colson and Arie McDonald. Lambert has spent the entirety of her professional career playing in Europe, most recently with Olympiacos, where she won the Greek A1 League. During that season, Lambert averaged 15.4 points per game while shooting 42.1% from beyond the arc. Good.
Or are they simply bolstering their depth at point guard to stay competitive? Let's talk about Clark. She's missed 21 games this season due to a series of injuries. A quad strain early on, followed by groin issues. That's a significant chunk of the season for a player who was known for her durability in college and her rookie year. The Fever, led by coach Stephanie White, have been vague about her recovery, calling it day-to-day with no clear timeline for her return. Clark hasn't returned to full practice yet, focusing instead on conditioning work. This lack of clarity has frustrated fans, especially given Clark's importance to the team and the league. The numbers tell a tough story.
Signed a player from overseas in shocking development. Now, they had no European players on the team, and looked like the Indiana Fever new player did speak to the media earlier today. We got some of that footage. Let's roll
this opportunity that'd be coming for you.
Officially Monday. Yeah, Monday, so it was a pretty quick turnaround.
Take me through the emotions of that day, knowing that this was coming your way and that you'd have a chance to play on a team that might need you to play right away.
No, I was super excited. It's a blessing, having the journey that I've had and just, remaining faithful, trusting God and doing the work and just to see it all come back around and have this opportunity.
WNBA viewership has taken a hit since Clark's injuries, with Fever games seeing a 53% drop in national TV ratings, from 1.8 million viewers to around 847,000. Ticket prices for Fever road games have also fallen sharply, some by as much as 71%, like the Chicago Sky matchup, where prices dropped from $86 to $25.
Caitlyn Clark fans, this is a nasty position to be in. We're dealing with the Indiana Fever telling us that Caitlyn Clark is day-to-day. And we know the Indiana Fevers, Amber Cox, Kelly Crosskoff, Stephanie White are all liars. We can't believe anything the Indiana Fever say, and we know that. So we have the Fever saying Caitlyn Clark is day-to-day.
Even the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis, Clark's home market, saw a 35% ratings decline without her, pulling 2.19 million viewers compared to 3.44 million the previous year. These figures highlight Clark's massive impact on the league's popularity.
Clark's injury is tanking WNBA ticket prices. The star Indiana Fever guard suffered a quad injury and is expected to miss at least 2 weeks. This comes on the heels of the WNBA and other teams moving games into larger arenas to accommodate Caitlyn's fans. And as sports fans, I think we all know that Caitlyn Clark is the most popular women's basketball player. In fact, she might be one of the most popular female athletes in the entire world. Ever since she burst into the national consciousness, women's basketball has experienced a rise in popularity. But is it Caitlyn? Or is it women's basketball? Per Front Office Sports, get-in tickets for the Fever's rivalry game against the Chicago Sky on June 7th are down 71% from $86 to $25.
Now let's address the signings. Odyssey Sims, a veteran point guard, joined the Fever last week but struggled in her debut, looking rusty after time away from the WNBA. In contrast, Arie McDonald made an immediate impact when she joined earlier this season, setting a high bar. The addition of Kyra Lambert, who's yet to play in the WNBA, feels like a low-risk move to add depth. Her success in Europe suggests potential.
35%. WNBA ratings down. All-Star Game 35% than last year. Yet you're telling me that it doesn't have to do with Caitlyn. 35%. It really makes it difficult for fans of the WNBA in general and Caitlyn Clark, like myself, to have conversations, to join a Discord, just to I don't know, want to just talk up the WNBA in general, when you can't even give Caitlyn the props that she deserves.
But it's unclear how quickly she'll adapt to the WNBA's pace and physicality. Some fans are worried these moves signal doubt about Clark's return this season. The Fever have had to adjust their offense without their star, relying on players like Sims to run the point. However, these signings could also be about staying competitive while Clark recovers.
Through excessive fouling, targeting, and hostile comments from other players and owners. These aren't isolated, they're documented, continuing, and ignored by officials. The disparity in treatment invites real scrutiny. Not a single player has been suspended for flagrantly fouling Ms. Clark. Here's where he said a federal investigation should take place. Congress and the admin should demand answers from the W, its leaders, investigate officiating and internal league comms, hold hearings, and insist on real reforms. The Labor Department should review league protocols for workplace safety. If evidence shows discrimination or retaliation, the DOJ's Civil Rights Division must act.
With a month left in the regular season, the Fever are still in playoff contention. And coach Stephanie White has done an admirable job navigating the team through adversity. There's also been discussion about Clark's treatment on the court. She's faced intense physicality this season, drawing 46 fouls, the third most in the league. 5 of the WNBA's 30 flagrant fouls this year were called against her, with 4 coming from the Chicago Sky alone. Some argue the referees haven't done enough to protect her, pointing to incidents like a shove from Marina Mabrey or an eye poke from JC Sheldon.
Ask about people being a little physical with Caitlyn at that, her last game. Do you feel like she's being treated unfairly, in her games and stuff like that?
I think it's definitely star players aren't ever treated fairly.
Is that kind of what you went through? Because you're considered a legend. Is that just kind of normal about being the rookie? Is that part of it?
I think everybody has a different path. So I appreciate you, man.
Thank you
Take care.
Both of which resulted in minimal penalties. This has fueled frustration among fans who feel Clark, as a generational talent, is being unfairly targeted.
Now, I'm not exactly too sure where Kyra Lambert is, and I know what your reaction is. Kyra Lambert who? Kyra Lambert, minus the 2, divide by 3, add 4. Yeah, I didn't know who Kyra Lambert was either. Kelly, she better be good. Amber, she better be good. That's all I'm going to say. She better come in and be impactful off the jump. That's all I'm going to say. She needs to at least pass the eye test. Okay, maybe she doesn't have a good game, but can she at least pass the eye test so when I watch her, I'm saying to myself, okay, I can see the vision, I can see where we hope that this is going.
On the flip side, physical play is part of the game, especially for star players. WNBA legend Candace Parker noted that top talents often face aggressive defense, but there's a line between tough play and excessive contact.
But like, she's a 5'9" point guard who averaged 8 points per game in Greece. How shit must Odyssey Sims be? No, man, we're not doing this. Oh, I think we're done. I think we're done. I think we're done, man. I think the season's done. Like, we got the 17th best point guard in EuroLeague.
The WNBA has built.
Clark's had to advocate for herself, even confronting officials about calls, which shows how challenging this season has been.
I do think that Caitlyn Clark's healing can't come soon enough, and looking at the bright side of things, there is still a month left of the season, and I do think that the Indiana Fever are still in a good position, and they can take this and they can turn things around. I think that what Stephanie White has done with the team, given all of the adversity that has happened, is pretty incredible, but I don't want to mince words because I don't necessarily see Kyra Lambert as coming in and saving the day for the Indiana Fever. Now, Lambert did win the Greek League Championship and was the Euro Cup Guard of the Year, so there's a plus.
So what's the takeaway? The Fever's recent signings of Sims and Lambert are pragmatic moves to address immediate needs at point guard. While Clark's injuries have raised concerns, it's too early to assume she won't return this season. The team's focus seems to be on staying competitive while prioritizing her long-term health. For now, fans are left hoping Lambert can make an impact and that Clark's recovery progresses, but the uncertainty is tough to ignore. The Fever's next games will tell us a lot about their direction. If Lambert and Sims can step up, they might stabilize the backcourt. If not, the pressure will only grow as the playoff race tightens. Either way, the WNBA's reliance on Clark's star power is undeniable, and her absence is being felt across the league.
Clark's injury is tanking WNBA ticket prices. The star Indiana Fever guard suffered a quad injury and is expected to miss at least 2 weeks. This comes on the heels of the WNBA and other teams moving games into larger arenas to accommodate Caitlyn's fans. And as sports fans, I think we all know that Caitlyn Clark is the most popular women's basketball player. In fact, she might be one of the most popular female athletes in the entire world. Ever since she burst into the national consciousness, women's basketball has experienced a rise in popularity. But is it Caitlyn? Or is it women's basketball? Per Front Office Sports, get-in tickets for the Fever's rivalry game against the Chicago Sky on June 7th are down 71% from $86 to $25.